All right, so let me take a look at some of these deals out here. What am I going to get myself? What am I going to get that programmer that I know? It's better to give than it is to receive. All right, so what's up, everybody? Today, what I want to do is talk about Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. We're going to get bombarded with a bunch of these on social media and in your email. And if you're looking for deals for a programmer that you know, if you're looking for a deal for yourself, there's a couple of things that you should consider, because unless you have unlimited funds, you want to make sure that you don't have buyer's remorse, and you want to make sure that you're buying what's exactly needed, because it's so easy to spend money online and it's so easy to make an impulse purchase, but you don't want to have buyer's remorse. All right, so first off, let me mention that this video is not sponsored by anyone, and I am not sharing any affiliate links down below. So these are just my tips, my suggestions, some stuff that I use, and then some things that I want myself. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so when you're purchasing a gift for somebody that you know, or if you're buying something for yourself, you want to make sure you spend your money wisely. So that means you got to make a plan. You got to figure out, what is it that I or they need? If they're a programmer, where are they in their programming journey? Are they brand new or are they seasoned? So this is going to take some investigating on your part. You're going to have to determine what is it that they already have. And have they mentioned anything that they need, anything that they really want? Now I know Black Friday and Cyber Monday is already around the corner. And in the past, it really used to only be 2 days, right? But now it seems like it's been here for about a month. And that's because there's a race to your dollar. Again, unless you have unlimited funds, whoever gets to you first and gets that dollar is winning in this economy. But you got to be smart about it. You got to make sure that you have a plan in terms of what you're going to purchase and how much you really want to spend. All right, so let's talk about, should you purchase your items online or should you go to a store? Now, there's pros and cons to both of them. Obviously, online it's a lot easier. You can go on your phone, you can go on your tablet, you can go on your computer. If they have an app, you can go on the app and just start looking at what do they have and what are the prices. And it's easier to do a price comparison from one website to another. Now, one of the cons is it's kind of harder to return sometimes. So then it might make sense to go to a physical store. You have a chance to actually look at the product. You can spend some time and analyze it, and you can take your phone and do a price comparison there. But then I get flashbacks of when I used to be that person that would drive up to Woodbury Commons, because I live in New York, and I would be online. And I don't mean the line for the store, I mean in the car for miles trying to get on the exit to Woodbury Commons. And then once you actually get in there, it's like a free-for-all. Everybody is trying to get everything that they can. It is madness. So now I do most of my shopping online, but I sometimes also buy locally because it's good to support your local businesses if you can. All right, so let's get into some products over here. What are some good items that you can get either for yourself or for another person who's programming? Now, this is where I have a major tip to share with you. Depending on what you're buying, you want to look at the release cycle, the end of cycle deals, because sometimes what happens is there's a significant amount of inventory that a manufacturer might have, and they're trying to unload that before they release the next version. And this can happen within the technology field a lot. I'll give you a quick comparison here. Now, Dell laptops or Dell computers, they're towards the end of their release cycle. So you're going to find they're going to have some serious discounts, sometimes like $500 off in terms of the previous models that they have. They're the current models now, but in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, they're going to release a new version. So then you have to make a decision. Is the deal that they're offering now enough to incentivize you to make that purchase, or should you wait until the new release comes out? When it comes to programming, honestly, from one generation to the next, it's not going to be that major of an impact or that major of a difference in terms of the technology bump. So it might make sense to make that purchase now. Now, when it comes to Mac, that's different. They just released the brand new MacBook Pro 16 and 14 inch. They have the new M3 chip, and you're not going to see that many deals on those, but what you will see is a reduction of the price of the previous model. And honestly, they just came out with the new model back in January. Well, the previous new model. So that's two items that they came out with this year. The MacBook Pro that was released in January 2023 and the brand new MacBook Pro. So unless you absolutely need the bleeding edge technology, you might be better off just getting the previous model and saving a few dollars. But really do your research on release cycles and end of cycle deals. Alright, so besides laptops, now what else can you get a programmer? What is something that either a programmer would need or you would need? Again, this will require you to do some investigation, really analyze what do they currently have, what have they mentioned they need or want, and what have you seen they're lacking in terms of their setup. And this is important because let me go back to the laptop experience or the laptop example. If they are using Dell laptops or if they're using a Windows-based computer, you don't want to buy them Mac accessories. And vice versa, if they're using Mac OS, you don't want to buy them Windows components. You want to make sure that what you're purchasing is compatible with what they have. Alright, so besides that, what else can you get them? Well, one of the most important things in a programmer's arsenal is their keyboard. They need a good keyboard, a high quality mechanical keyboard or a good ergonomic keyboard. Now, I did a video a couple of years back and I showed a demonstration of what I have on my desk. And I did a nice overview of these different components. So I'll leave a link to that up in the cards because a lot of that stuff is still relevant. But getting a good keyboard is important because you want to make sure they feel comfortable while programming. One of the things that a programmer needs is to be able to get into flow and to stay in flow. And anything that creates any resistance is detrimental to their workflow. So a good keyboard is extremely important. Now, what else would be a good purchase? A chair is vital because you as a programmer, you're going to be sitting on the chair for a significant amount of time. So you want to have a good chair that doesn't make you hurt so much when you stand up and you have those achy backs and stuff. So definitely get an adjustable chair that you could adjust the height and even whether or not you can go back and forth. Sometimes gaming chairs are the best chairs when it comes to programming because seriously, they're made for you to sit in them all day long. Now, besides chairs, you also need a good desk. Now, obviously an adjustable desk in terms of the height adjustment, that is awesome. I don't have that, I should get one, so maybe I'll put that on my list. But a good desk that's wide enough that it could hold pretty much everything you need, that's important. So if it's for you or for somebody else, take a look at what you or they have and see if they could be an upgrade. And that's an important point too, because you don't want to get them something that they already have, or you don't want to get them something that's inferior to what they already have. So you got to do your homework. Now, besides the chair, besides the desk, besides the keyboard, what else is there? Well, if you're looking back at me, I have an ultra wide monitor. That's a 49-inch monitor. And that's helpful. You don't necessarily need a 49-inch monitor. You can get a nice 27-inch monitor or get two of them. And what I definitely recommend is potentially getting a monitor that you can switch to portrait mode instead of landscape mode. And for programmers, that's a big benefit. Now for me, I have another workstation that's specifically for coding, and that one has the monitor in portrait mode where I could just look at the code in long format. And sometimes I use both at the same time. But the monitor you use is important. So definitely, if the person doesn't have a good monitor that can adjust to portrait mode, that might be a good gift. Now, another gift is maybe you can get them some books on programming. Yeah, right? People still actually read books. I know there's a lot of stuff online. You can check out the documentation pages of a language. You can check out videos. There's online courses. There's ChatGPT. There's a bunch of different ways to learn how to code. But sometimes there's something about having that book in your hands. So take a look at the programming language that they're learning or the language that they've mentioned they want to learn and see if there's any recent books that have good reviews on that language. Now, the next one is subscriptions, digital subscriptions. As a programmer, there's a bunch of different tools that I use. One of them is PHP Storm. I've been using it for years, and so I have a good discount on that. But see if there's any software that they need in order to get their workflow done properly, to streamline their process. Have a conversation with them if you're looking to buy something for them and see if there's anything that they've been mentioning for a while or something that they've mentioned they really want. And then see if there's a bundle deal or a discount deal online to purchase it now. You're going to find there's a lot of them, 30% off here, 20% off there. And if you buy it for the year, sometimes you get an even deeper discount. And sometimes they'll have a lifetime deal, so that could be good. And then there's going to be a lot of discounts to learning platforms. If they're learning how to code, see if any of the online platforms have a good deal. Trust me, they do. Now, the next one is a must. Good headphones. Reason why you always see programmers with headphones is because, again, they have to be able to block out all the distractions outside, all the noise coming in and disrupting their workflow. So good headphones that have noise cancellation is vital. These are my Alienware headsets. I've had them for years and they're awesome. They're great. But there's a bunch of deals online right now. You can find great headphones. And these are the AirPod Pros. They have good noise cancellation and they do the job really well. Good headphones are a must, and wireless is good. What I like about this pair here is that it's wireless, but it's not Bluetooth. It has the actual dongle that goes into the device, so it gives a more stable connection. And it has the ability to use a cord, so it could be a wired or wireless headphone. Now that's important because sometimes you don't want the latency, sometimes you don't want to have to worry about any disturbances or issues, so having both options is important. And again, these are great too. Now the next one, I probably should have done it with the keyboards, because since we spend a lot of time on our keyboards, having the right tools, being able to be as efficient as possible, that's important for a programmer. So one of the tools I like to use a lot is this one. This is the Razer Tartarus Pro. Now, what is this? This is a macro keyboard. What it does is it enables you to create your own customized macro keys. Now think about these as shortcuts or keyboard shortcuts to the next level. I have different configurations here for when I'm coding on PHP Storm or when I'm using Visual Studio Code. I also have a configuration set up for when I'm editing videos on Adobe Premiere Pro. Instead of having to warp my fingers into a bunch of different types of angles and stuff, one button and the job gets done. Now that's awesome. So this is a great tool right here. All right, so besides the keyboard and besides that Razer Tartarus, which is awesome, a good mouse. A good mouse is gonna make a major difference in terms of how you work as a programmer or anyone who's working on a computer. The better the mouse, the more keys it has, which enable you to have your own little shortcuts. That's gonna be helpful. And if it's ergonomic, see, this one is more natural for a grip. But this one is one of the best in the industry. But there's even one better, and I've been looking at it for a while, and it's another Razer product, and it is awesome. It literally has a bunch of macro keys right there on the mouse itself. Now that makes you even more efficient. So that would be an awesome purchase if you can get it for yourself or for somebody else. So look for that. It might be some deals on it. It's a little bit pricey, but it's probably worth it. Now, if the person that you know is a programmer that likes to work with hardware, like maybe in the robotics area, maybe get them a Raspberry Pi, a new version of it if they don't have one, or an Arduino. Some of these kits are awesome, and for the hobbyists, you really get to explore how you can interface with your home systems, with your different devices, or create little robots to have fun with. All right, so let's get serious here. Honestly, what's the #1 gift you could probably get a programmer? Get them a good coffee maker. Coffee powers programmers. All right, so for some other things you can get them, maybe a desktop organizer or maybe some cable management tools. I have a cable management net underneath my desk, and one of my previous setups was like a hornet's nest, so definitely having some good wire management, that's important, because you don't want to be fiddling with a million wires all over the place and then you snag something or drag something and then it comes undone. That could be a nightmare, it could be a headache. So good cable management tools, that could be a good gift. Now, if you really want to go all out, you could probably get them a good virtual reality headset. Now that's expensive, but that could be a good gift, depending on what they like to do. See if there's any deals for them out there. Maybe a customized mouse pad. Again, these mice are very good, but the pad matters because it'll reduce the friction on the desk. Now, another gift is something that's also important, because backing up information, backing up data is vital. So maybe you can get them a subscription to an online cloud provider, like maybe OneDrive or Google Drive or Dropbox or any of the other providers online. But beyond that, get them some physical SSDs as well. These are important because it's a high capacity backup drive. Or you can go a little bit smaller and get something like this, which is still 5 terabytes, so that's pretty cool. Or you can even get something as small as this. This is a high capacity USB drive, and it's very handy when you want to go back and forth from one system to another or to back up your data. All right, so besides technology, I covered a couple of things here in terms of the type of tech and type of gear that you can get a programmer or get yourself, and mentioned some software. Now, there are some other items that a programmer would benefit from, or maybe they would like. So what are those? I tend to fidget a lot, so this fidget spinner, yeah, it's a kid's toy. But I got it because sometimes I just need to fidget on something. It helps me to focus. So this can make a good stocking stuffer. If you're on the keyboard all day, one item that could definitely be beneficial is this. It's like a little $5 toy. It's a massager for your hands. Because trust me, the hands, after typing all day, they can hurt. Even on the best ergonomic keyboards and mice, your fingers need a rest. And if you've been doing this for over 10 years, yeah, the time adds up. Now, if you don't like the fidget spinner, another thing you can get is the Chinese balls. These are good because, again, you got to play with something, and they kind of help you think, to focus, and to really get into flow, and to get into a flow state. I like these. And now in my previous video, when I showed what's on my desk, one thing that was really obscure that a lot of people didn't know about are these. These are egg weights. Now these are good because, one, as a person who sits in a desk all day, you gotta be able to get up every now and then, get physically active, because if not, your body's gonna fall apart. So these are good because these weigh right here. I think these are the 3-pounders, so it's not a lot, but you can use them for shadow boxing. You could use them when you're running, when you're walking around. They're just good little tools for helping you get into better shape. Now, another thing is a medicine ball, because if you're sitting down all day, one thing that could be helpful is having a medicine ball or a stability ball that you can lay on, and it'll help you stretch out your back. Now that's cool. And this one, I can't believe I forgot this one. This is a trackpad, a touchpad for Windows. This one's made by Logitech. I actually don't know if they make it anymore, but it's a glass, very similar to the MacBooks, and it's helpful. Very helpful in terms of having another way to interface with your computer. And this one I can't believe I forgot as well. This is the Kensington trackball. Now this is awesome. This makes navigating around your computer very easy, and you can customize how these buttons work. And it has a scroll wheel right here and the trackball right here. Very cool. And now if the person that you're buying a gift for is using a laptop, and maybe get them a laptop cooler. This one's really good because it has the RGB lights. You have the stands here, which make it very useful. It's a nice little gift. And now another gift that would be very beneficial for a programmer, someone who needs to know how to think like a programmer, someone who wants to exercise their brain. A good gift would be a good chessboard. Now you can go for something like this. It's a very small chessboard. It's magnetic. It's very portable. It's also very affordable. You can go for something like this, or you can go for something like this. This is Square Off. It is an AI-driven chessboard. It's a rollable chessboard, and it's AI-driven, and you can play on chess.com, you can play on Lichess, and you can play against the AI that's inside of the program itself. You use your phone for it as well. And you can play other people who have this board also. Now this is an awesome tool. Now another thing you could do is look at some chess subscriptions, see if there's a discount on chess.com. I'm sure there is. Check out some alternatives, see if they have some yearly discounts or some seasonal discounts. That could be an interesting gift. Just make sure they don't already have it, because again, you don't want to get them something they already have. And then, last but not least, a good reusable water bottle. Forget about using plastic. I had to go get one of these just for this video. I'm going to put that in a recycling bin later on. But get a reusable water bottle because it'll be helpful in order to stay hydrated. Alright, so in this video I just wanted to talk about some items that I find useful, some stuff that I've used, and a couple of items that I want myself. But if you're purchasing something for somebody you know who's a programmer, or if you're purchasing something for yourself, make sure you have a plan and identify the websites or the stores you're going to go to and try to see what deals they have. Do some price comparisons and make sure you take a look at some of the bundle deals they might have. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification icon. If you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions, leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching and happy programming.